Hi, my name is Sheik, I'm an Eternity Strategist, and we're going to do a tier list, my very first tier list for Season 2.5. Season 2.5 came out not long ago, it's just been over a week now since it came out. So we're already starting to see certain things appear in the meta. It appears that a lot of flying characters are very popular and a lot of dive characters aren't as popular this meta. So, without further ado, let's get right into the tier list, and please let me know in the comments if you disagree with any champion that I rank. So, for starters, I'm going to choose a few that I think are really good, just to kind of get the shape of the tier list. So, Luna Snow, she got changes going into Season 2.5. Her ultimate is now takes a lot longer to charge, but she gets a lot more damage and healing on her primary fire, and she also gets bonus health when she hits her freeze. Which actually makes her an amazing pick. You would think that it would take ages for her ultimate to charge, but since she's always doing more damage and more healing with her primary fire, you can't really feel the changes at all. She is very strong in this meta. She has more survivability. I think she's the strongest she's ever been, to be honest. Loki is going right up there with her because Loki is Loki. He's amazing. He counters dive if the enemy has to be running it, but they might not be running it in Season 2.5 as much. Either way, he's still really good because he gets the fastest ultimate, and he can take Luna's ultimate quicker than she can ult, so he's really good. Rocket Raccoon, I think, has fallen down a little bit. He doesn't seem to be healing as much, or at least from my experience. He doesn't feel as impactful anymore now that people have got used to playing with him. People just destroy his ultimate. His team up with the Punisher has gone, and it's now with Penny, which I don't think is as good because the Punisher team up was amazing. So he's going to go A for now because he's not as good as these healers. Who else do we have? Okay, Punisher. We'll put Punisher in A tier. Punisher has found a pretty good spot in this meta. He got some buffs going into Season 2.5 with his, stability, his aim, I think. I don't know if he got any damage buffs, I don't remember, but he's very strong. When players pick flying characters, Punisher's pretty good against them. He can use his turret to burst them down, or just his primary fire. Very good character, very good ultimate. He is a very strong A tier. Storm has really found her way in this meta so far. Now, just to make a big point about this meta, flying characters are very, very strong because dive characters such as Spiderman and where's this bitch? Iron Fist have been nerfed. Spider-Man's team up was removed. Iron Fist just got nerfs across the board. So that means there's two less threats, relatively easy characters to play, Spider-Man and Iron Fist, that can't get in the air and destroy the flyers as easily. So that's why the flyers are having a much better time. And you have characters like Punisher, who is relatively easy to play, but you still need aim, and characters like Hela, who are really, really, really good. Hela is amazing this season, by the way, but you have to have some skill to play. Hela, you have to have a lot of skill to play. You have to have a really good aim with her. So, in lower elo games, you're probably going to see a lot more flyers in your games than higher elo games, because better players playing Hela will completely counter a flying character. But on that point, Hela got, I think, a buff to her primary, how much ammo she has. She's always been incredibly strong. It's always about whether the player has aim to play her, but she's S tier for me. I think she's amazing. I think Storm is A tier. He's probably above Punisher. We'll leave these two there for now. They might move up. The Thing. I think the Thing is really, really bad this season because of the flyers. And because of, Punisher being a thing. Punisher being really, really good. He just gets bursted down. He can't hit the flyers. I just don't think he's as good this season at all. His good part about him was his grounded effects and knocking people up, which would counter dive. But dive isn't as prevalent anymore, so he's going to be in B for now. Penny's an interesting one. She's really good on certain maps, and if you don't shoot her nests. She now has 2 nests. I think she's very situational, but I think she's a lot better than what she used to be. I'm tempted to put her at the very bottom of A tier, because if you have a good Penny player, she is really, really good. Her team up with Rocket is really good as well. So I'm going to put her in A tier for now. She might move. Neore, I feel like Neore isn't as strong anymore. I'm like hardly seeing him. I think his ultimate nerfs hit him kind of hard. He can't one-shot with Lunar Snow damage boost, I'm pretty sure, with his ultimate on the outside of it, because it's the outside of it got nerfed, the damage. But the middle will obviously always one-shot. So I don't think he's as good anymore. I'm still going to put him in A tier because he does hard counter dive, but I think he's been in S tier before. I don't think he's that good anymore. I don't think he's as much meta as what he used to be. Psylocke. So in my mind, Psylocke will always be good just because of her kit, but her team up with Emma got nerfs, I think, if I'm right in saying, so she can't one-shot people as much. But Psylocke will always be strong just because of her kit, so she's going in A tier. She always has a place in the meta pretty much. Who else have we got? Human Torch. Human Torch got nerfs, so he was ridiculous, overpowered, S tier. I would still say he's A tier because good players can get a lot of use out of him. He has a lot of zone control, a lot of damage, and he can be really good if the player is really good, so he's going in A tier. Jeff. See, I like Jeff's changes. Jeff Nado is ridiculous with Storm. Most overpowered ult combo right now. It gets banned in pretty much every game. But apart from that, I think Jeff's changes to being a main healer and his team up with Venom are pretty good. I know a lot of people aren't happy about him because they want to play him in a DPS kind of way, and he did lose his team up with Luna, which means he can't slow people down on his shots. But overall, I think he does a lot of healing. I'm seeing a lot more people pick up Jeff in higher elo as well. So I think he's a lot more playable now. I want to put him like high B tier or like low A tier. I think we'll put him in low A tier for now. StarLord. StarLord is always amazing. We forget about StarLord. We forget how good this bitch is because he has a bit of a high skill cap. But his ultimate is always amazing, will always force the healer ultimate, charges relatively fast if you're a good player. I think I'm putting him at the top of A tier. I think he's amazing and always has been. Adam Warlock and Mantis, they both go in the same boat for me always. If you've watched any of my tier lists or any of my content, you know how I feel about them. They're really good if you're a really good player, but for most players, then they're on paper, they counter dive. In-game, they don't really counter dive because it's so hard to counter dive when all of your skill level with these characters comes from having amazingly accurate aim. So you have to be one of the best players to actually get decent value out of them, and you may as well just be locking in another healer. But if you're cracks at them, that's great. They're probably a lot higher up the tier list, but as a general trend, Adam and Mantis, And I don't think they're that good this season either because dive isn't as good. So the reason why you pick them isn't really there anymore. However, triple strategist is becoming more of a thing because of this person, this thing, Ultron. Now, I don't know what your thoughts about Ultron are, but obviously he flies, he does decent healing, he does more healing than what we expected he would do. His ultimate, I don't think is very strong. It charges very fast, but I don't think it's that good. It doesn't compare to any of the other strategists healing-wise, but you can get kills with him. So I actually am going to put Ultron in A tier because I do think he's better than Adam and Mantis. Because he does more damage, I think he does more healing as well, and easy healing, so you don't have to stop firing pretty much, like Mantis does. I think he's just really good. He pockets the flyers really good. Flyers usually struggle to get healing, and they're usually a pretty big target, like a huge moth in the air, so people shoot them really quickly. So I think he's a lot better than what people expected. Is he better than Jeff? I'm going to put him higher than Jeff, just because Jeff, his main reason why he is here is Jeff Nado, and that's not necessarily his character. I feel like that's more Storm, but if we're looking at Jeff's base kit, I think Ultron's base kit is a little bit better right now. Okay, Iron Man. Iron Man is S tier. Iron Man was always pretty good. He got buffs, he got bonus health to one of his abilities. He always did really good damage. I feel like people are just starting to figure out that he's actually OP. Really hard to deal with, and because he outdamages any DPS that goes for him pretty much. And because of Spiderman and Iron Fist not being in the game, well, they are in the game, but you know what I mean, they're not as good. Less threats for him, less people to kill him, so he thrives a bit more. So he's going there. Doctor Strange. See, I am tempted to go back to what I originally put Doctor Strange as and put him in S tier, because he basically got a lot of his nerfs revoked. His ultimate charge is a lot faster, he does more damage, the fall off on his explosion thingy doesn't exist anymore. So he's basically back to where he was at the very start. Like, one of the best tanks. He has to team up with Scarlet Witch, which is also pretty good, even though Scarlet Witch isn't in meta. He did lose his team up with Hulk, which was what he had in Season 0, right? The shields. But I have always thought Doctor Strange is amazing because of his portal and his playmaking ultimate that can wipe a whole team. Point blank, period. Magneto. Magneto's always amazing. I think he's going to go ahead of Doctor Strange, though, for now. His ultimate is amazing, counters many ultimates, staple tank, really good team up with Emma Frost. He's great. Emma Frost, she is also going in S tier. She is very strong right now. Her primary fire range got extended, so she can deal with flyers a little bit better. Her ultimate is strong if you use it correctly. Her diamond form is amazing because it can counter a lot of enemy tanks by just like kicking them into your team and killing them. She's very strong, she has a team up to Psylocke, and yeah, she's found a great place in the meta. Black Widow, I'm going to put her in B tier. She's not going all the way at the bottom because I've seen a lot of people playing Black Widow well, now that people have started to actually figure out her aim and how she works and how she fits into team comps. She's really kind of coming into the meta, I feel like. She is playable. You do need a Mantis to damage boost you to headshot, which is a bit... So Mantis isn't played in every game. I'm tempted to kind of move her above Adam and Mantis, but I think we'll keep her there for now. Mr. Fantastic. I think this character is really good. But he probably doesn't fare as good if there's loads of people flying in the air, right? Because his ultimate won't hit them, and that's just not what he thrives on. I've always thought he's really good, though. He's just like a really good tank. He's like a pseudo tank. He has to team up with Invisible Woman to keep him alive a little bit more. I think he's great. I think he'll go at the bottom of A tier. I think I might actually move Penny down to B tier. Reason being is because she's very situational and you can't play her all the time. And she gets countered really easily. Okay, what else we got? We have Cloak and Dagger. Now, Cloak and Dagger, this one is going to be a bit controversial. I'm putting Cloak and Dagger in A tier. And I don't care what people say. I'm an Eternity Strategist. I know what I'm talking about. I know how good Cloak and Dagger is. I know how good their healing potential is. I know how good their ultimate is, especially if you're in solo queue ranked and you're trying to rank up by yourself and you're in a bit of lower elo. Their ultimate can make really good pressure, push objectives, get kills. It does a lot more than what you would think. If you can just get the hang of dodging like Iron Man ultimates and Magneto ultimates, then you're amazing, right? So I think they're really good. They're very underestimated. They heal flyers especially well because you don't have to aim. So if you're playing Luna, you have to be one of the best players to hit every single shot on, you know, your Iron Man flying around like a bumblebee, your Human Torch flying around like, you know, he's high. So Cloak and Dagger is very, very good because the daggers actually follow them and you don't have to miss your shots. So you'll actually be healing them a lot easier. So yeah, I think Cloak and Dagger's amazing. I think they're probably going to be up here because in my mind they're better than Jeff. Are they better than Ultron? Yeah, we're going there. Cloak and Dagger's going there. Invisible Woman, she is up here. See, I don't know if I want to put Invisible Woman in A tier. I'm kind of a bit... I feel like because Human Torch isn't as good, Invisible Woman isn't as good. I feel like her ultimate doesn't stack up especially well. Because Luna is like the big boss again, Invisible Woman's ultimate doesn't last as long. It's like 4 seconds earlier. And Storm ultimate now pretty much kills through Invisible Woman ultimate or does the same amount of damage as the healing, so it's actually pretty easy to kill through it now if you have some allies help you. So I don't think she's as good as the other healers just because her ultimate doesn't heal for a lot and it's not as long. So I'm kind of struggling whether to put her in A tier, S tier. I think she's better than Rocket by far. I think I'm going to put her at the bottom of S tier. Because she is still pretty strong, and her team up is pretty good. But the Thing is also shit. Human Torch isn't as good, and Mr. Fantastic also isn't as good. just because of the meta. What else we got? Venom. I'm hardly seeing any people play Venom. I've always liked Venom. He doesn't have his team up anymore. But he does have a team up with Jeff. I've always liked Venom. He's a hard one. I don't play him, so it's kind of hard for me to rank him. I think I'm just going to put him at the top of B tier. Because I still think he's pretty good. He's annoying to deal with as a strategist. His ultimate is pretty good. You have to turn around and help your allies. So, yeah. We'll keep him there for now. Black Panther. Black Panther for me is a good character, and he's always been a good character. People call him the tickle monster, but as a strategist, I can tell you, if the Black Panther is a good player, he can easily kill you without you even being able to react. Black Panther players will probably tell you differently in how bad he is and how much he needs buffs. No. If you're a really good Black Panther player, you can one-shot any squishy. So I'm going to put him above Black Widow. He is very situational though, you can't play him in every game. If the enemy's got like a Neore or like, you know, certain anti-dive characters that are harder to kill, then it is harder for you. If they're running triple heals, it can be really hard, which is also very popular right now. Flyer meta, Black Panther also can't really get in the air and kill people, so he is having a bit of trouble, but the actual like power of Black Panther himself I think is a lot better than what people say. What else do we have? We have Groot. Groot I haven't seen a whole lot of. I'm still going to put him in A tier. I don't know if he's S. For me, he's probably not S, just because of his nerfs and just because Punisher is a little bit more prevalent. Punisher kind of destroys Groot because he destroys the Groot walls very quickly. Hela having more ammo is also really bad for Groot, so you can delete him a lot faster. I think I'm putting Groot at the top of A tier. I don't think I would put him on the level of Magneto, Emma, and Doctor Strange. That's just my opinion. His ultimate's always going to be good, but from what I've experienced in Season 2.5, I don't see him stomping games like he was in Season 2. It's just yet Emma's, Magneto's, and Doctor Strange that are stomping for me. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch in my mind is always good, and especially because of the team up, she's really good. It does a lot of damage. However, I don't think we can put her in A tier. I think for me she's probably going to be in B tier. She's better than the Thing. Probably going to put Penny there. She's better than the Thing and all these people, but she's still not like, you know, really far up there. Captain America. I think Captain America is pretty good. He's probably A tier. He was amazing. He had his period of being amazing. He's still really good if you have a good person playing him. He can be really, really annoying, and you have to turn around and do something. You can't just ignore him, otherwise he will pick up a kill. So I think he's just going to go like smack bang in the middle of A tier. Maybe roundabout there. I think he's a pretty good character. As a strategist, he is really annoying to play against. Wolverine. I haven't seen as many Wolverines going into Season 2.5. Probably because it's more flyers, so obviously Wolverine can't get in the sky and grab them as easily. I feel like it's a bit of a less brawly meta because the dive meta has kind of left, so Wolverine's place is a little bit iffy now. He's still a good character. I would probably put him at the bottom of A tier just because his whole premise of its gameplay with kidnapping a tank and killing them is still a thing, and it's always gonna be a thing. And that's an easy way to win a game if you have a good Wolverine, so I think he'll always be somewhat prevalent just because of that. Like, if you can do that one thing, then you can win, right? So I think he's still pretty good. Squirrel Girl, she's good, but she's not good. She's good on like certain maps. Her ultimate's very inconsistent. Her kit, I feel like, just stops her from moving up because it's a very inconsistent kit. But Clintar, she's amazing on Clintar. She's good where any walls are like close together. She's good for zone control. But there are other characters that control zones a little bit better, I feel like, you know, like Human Torch. And a lot more consistently as well. What else do we have? Hawkeye. So Hawkeye got buffs going into Season 2.5. I don't think he's S tier, but he is really annoying to play against. He is S tier with the Lunar Snow team up. However, I don't want to rank him just based on that. No, I think I'm going to put him just below Punisher. I might come back to that. Let me think on that. Bucky got nerfs. Bucky doesn't feel as strong anymore, especially not in the dive meta. He could like combat dive characters by, you know, charging at them with his ability. I forget what it's called. You know, he does a little shoulder bash thing, and his hook. His ultimate isn't as good if there's more flying people in the air, because like what the hell is he gonna do? You can't really ult in the air as Bucky. I do think he's still strong, and he's still a staple pick, and he will always just be like kind of a decent pick. I'm looking whether to put him. I think I'll probably put him round about where Neore is. He kind of like gives Neore for me. Like, good, staple, but nothing too overpowered. Thor. Thor I haven't really seen a lot of either, so it's kind of hard for me to rank Thor. I feel like I would put him in B tier. I know he got a rework. I don't know if... I feel like people are really mad at the rework. I don't play Thor, can't really give you a big insight into that, but just based on the fact that I don't see him as much, and for me his ultimate is pretty easy to deal with and counter, I'm going to put him there, B tier. Hulk. Hulk is, in my eyes, pretty good. He also has a team up with Neore, which is a pretty good team up for Neore. So where should I put Hulk? I'll probably put Hulk like there, maybe like a little bit higher up. I think I'll just put him next to Neore. He's decent, he's strong. Is he better than Captain America is the question. I don't know, but either way, Hulk can kind of deal with flyers a little bit. If you get good at your jump, you can kind of like knock them out of the air. He's always a good tank pick. Not really too much to say about him, just staple, just pretty good. Magic, I don't see a lot of her. More flyers in the game means that Magic isn't as good. It's hard to make her fly in the air and insta-kill. Obviously, if you're a godlike Magic, you can do it. I think that's probably... I want to say that's bumped her off of A tier. Because I'm looking at the people in S tier, like, can she kill a Hela? A good Hela, it's kind of hard for a Magic to kill a good Hela, I feel like. That is a very hard one. I think I might just put her here because Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic, and Magic I feel like haven't got a huge place in the meta, but they are still decent characters. Moon Knight, for me, Moon Knight's always been good. I know some people would have him on D tier in their tier list sometimes. I never understood that, but I think he's got really good damage output, and his ultimate is also really strong. I know his ultimate keeps going from being strong to being weak, but I think he's pretty good. So I'm probably going to put him maybe like just ahead of Cloak and Dagger, like that. And what else we got? We got Spiderman and Iron Fist. I only put them in C tier as like a placeholder. Where would I actually put them? Iron Fist, I honestly have not seen a lot of Iron Fist, and he seems to not be performing as well in this meta. But he probably is better than some of these characters. I'd probably put him there. Spider-Man. I want to put, you know what, I want to make a statement. Spider-Man can go in D tier. Even if he's not that bad, we hate him. We hate Spider-Man. Keep nerfing Spider-Man. Okay, so this is my tier list. I'm looking to see if I've done anything wrong or I can change anything. I kind of want to move Penny up, but since she's so situational, I don't think I can. And then I have StarLord, Storm. I feel like Storm could potentially go up a little bit, but I feel like Storm is just all the rage because of Magneto. I feel like I could move her up into S tier because of Magneto, because it is dominating games, like I can't lie. But I don't want to put her up at the very top just because it feels a bit scummy just saying like, oh, she's S tier because of a team up, because the team up can easily be banned out, you know, or just not played. I still think Hela, Iron Man are better than Storm. Consistently better. Yeah, I think that is what I would go for. I think this is my finished tier list. Let me know if you have an issue with anything that I have ranked. I'm sure there will be many issues. I haven't put a lot of thought into this. This is just me literally sitting down and just deciding to compile a tier list. So I'll probably look at it later and try and change something around. And I'll put in the description of the video if I do decide to change something around. But yeah, let me know what you think to Season 2.5, what you think to the meta, and if you disagree with anything that I put on here.